Good evening, everyone. So we're going to start. Can everyone take a seat, please? Good evening, everybody. We're going to start. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. For those who I have not met, my name is Jumana Nasur Tanana, and it gives me great pleasure to be your MC for tonight's event. Before I start, I just want to remind everyone with some housekeeping before we begin our program. A gents' toilet, restroom on the right, and ladies on the left, please put your mobiles on silent. And if you need to answer a call, please step outside and answer it. And a reminder, this event is no smoking. And because we will still under COVID public health order, it's important that we all adhere to the venue restrictions. And the prayer room just across here, and please ask the staff if you don't find it. Thank you very much. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land and pay my respects to elders, past, present, emerging, and any Aboriginal people here. So please, before we start, can we all stand up for the Australian National Anthem? Thank you. I think some technical issue. It's okay. Sorry. We need a nice voice.
يلا شوكت and get started.
Okay, let me do it. Let me do it in my way. That's what it is.
He tried it before, it was working when we walked in.
I can do it for just in case.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, are we all ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I would like to welcome you all. It gives me great pleasure to be standing before you today at this fundraising dinner for the election campaign for the future councillors. We need the voice of representatives to inform, invigorate, and inspire the conversation within the community, and equally important for our younger members of the community. This grassroots campaign is powered by members, volunteers, and support just like you. For this, we are extremely grateful. We are all counting on your support and generosity. Honorable Showket Muslimani was elected councillor to the former Rockville City Council in 1995, where he has served 4 terms as a mayor and 4 terms as deputy mayor. In 2009, Showket was appointed as a member of the New South Wales Legislative Council in 2015, was re-elected and appointed as the opposition whip in the Legislative Council for 4.5 years. In 2019, he was elected by a majority vote in the Legislative Council as Assistant President until he resigned his position in May 2020. Showket has a long-standing involvement with many communities across our multicultural society. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Showket مسلماني, MLC.
Well, thank you so much, Jumana. Thank you for that kind introduction. First of all, let me acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. Forgive me, I'm going to speak in English, and I'll have, I know there are other speakers who will speak in Arabic tonight, so I'll speak in English. I want to acknowledge each and every one of you for joining us here tonight to support this ticket, the ticket of Bill Sarnowski, the way Mustapha and Vicky Roussos, who are a trio who work so hard in the community, well recognized, well respected, particularly the Mayor of Bayside City Council, Bill Sarnowski. But before I speak about Bill and the candidate, I would like to thank you so much. Thank you for making the effort to come down here to Bayside and join us in support of the way Mustapha and Bill Sarnowski. Your support cannot be measured. In reality, what the way, what Bill and what Vicky does is one thing, but your support coming from all over New South Wales, coming from areas that you drive an hour or so away from here, to come to support this team is a great effort, and I really and truly appreciate and thank you. There are many organisations that are here that Luwai has worked with. Luwai is a well-known community representative through the Lebanese Community Council of New South Wales. But Luwai is the younger guy and the more respected, I should say, the one that we all loved, Dr. Mustapha, his dad. His dad was a real icon of the community. He represented the entire community, and he was a generous man. He was loved, he was respected, and he dealt with everybody. And he was someone that we all now miss. But Luwai has some elements, some characteristics of his dad. And that's why we are all here to support him. You know, the community has now grown. It's grown pretty fast. There's about 500,000 Arabic Australians. It's a significant vote. It's a significant community. Our participation in the political process is so important. You would only know the significance of it, the importance of participating, when you see your participation and your representations through community organizations to political parties and to members of parliament. Your voice to those members of parliament is so important because it gets straight into parliament. And 500,000 members of the Australian Arabic community make a real impact. People don't know that the Arabic community across Western Sydney can impact on about 15 to 20 seats. In actual fact, the Australian Arabic community, if it votes one way, it can bring down a government. If it votes another way, it can elect a new government. So your voice, your role is very powerful. But all we need is participation. And that's why now, as you'll see these days, that there are a significant number of younger people running for local government. And their participation is very important because they carry our voice into parliament, into local government, and into the federal sphere. There are councillors, there are mayors, Carlisle, for example. He's the mayor of Canterbury Bankstown. It's the biggest council in New South Wales, with about 360 or 385,000. That's one of the biggest council and is a big background. We have a number of councillors in Cumberland, in Parramatta, in Bayside, everywhere. And I'm just talking about the Labor councillors. There are many who are of Liberal background. There are some also Green. So the community is really now getting involved. But a little bit too late, a little bit late, I should say. Community should have got involved 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But it's never too late to participate. And our younger people need your support. I mean, if you look at Ola Hamid, for example, in Cumberland, Ola has a potential of becoming the mayor. You have a young female. It's rare to have a participant or activist in the political process. In the Arabic community, predominantly males. Here you have females. You have Rachel Harika, for example. She's very dynamic. You have, I'll try to remember some names, Bia Esper, well respected in the Parramatta Council area. So they are very important voices on local government, and they can carry your voice into local government. But we just need the support, to support them, to encourage them, and use them to showcase to other kids, other younger people, to participate in the political process. And we have the chance. We have the chance of getting our community voice into councils. And that opens the way for future generations into the state and, of course, federal parliament. So that's why it's so important to be active. We all speak and talk about Middle East politics, and I always say this example, that you ask anyone about politics, they'll start talking to you about the Soviet Union and international politics, but you ask them about who's your local mayor, some don't even know who is the local mayor. But hopefully with the new generation, they can carry our community and give us that voice. So here you have Luwai Mustapha and Vicky, importantly led by Bill Sarnowski. Bill Sarnowski is a well-loved individual. He's a bit of a character once you get to know him, but he's been on the council for almost 38 years. Is that right, Bill? 38 years. And he's an emeritus mayor. And it was through Bill that I got elected onto council in 1995. And it was through Bill that we did so many things, as we did just recently with the flag raising, the Lebanese flag raising. We did the sister city between Rockdale and Minchvale. We did so many community things that the previous councils did not. And if you looked at the council before 1995, as are many of the councils, there were hardly real representations, multicultural representations on the council. The only councillor out of the 15 councils that was on Rockdale Council of multicultural background was Bill, out of the 15. Yet the community was really multicultural, the Greeks and Italians and Lebanese and Macedonians and so forth. And now you've got Nepalese, you've got Bangladeshis. And so now the councils have now really changed the character. On Bayside, there are Egyptians, there are Lebanese, there are Greeks, there are Macedonians, a real mix representing the multicultural community of Bayside. So it's so important to know the significance of voting and voting right and ensuring that all our people vote. But most importantly, your presence here tonight is a support to this ticket, to the Sarnowski ticket, and supporting Luwai. Luwai last time ran number 2. I think he just missed out by 300 votes. So there is a chance for Luwai to win, but he can only win with your support. And I sincerely thank you for being here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Showket. We're going to have around 15 minutes break because the entree is going to be served now. So enjoy your entree and then we continue the program. Thank you.
ولا بعيد مين؟